Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Emma Lefave, and today we are going to be painting some 5-minute watercolor landscapes, fall themed. Let's do it. Okay friends, today we are going to be doing the 5-minute landscape challenge. I did this a while ago, but today I want to kind of make it a bit more fall-like. We're going to be using fall colors for, red and orange and yellow leaves, and we're just going to keep it loose and simple, well, as simple as I can, and hope that it goes well. Do I have an idea in my head of what I'm necessarily going to do? Not really. But we're just going to kind of see where it takes us. So I'm going to give myself 2 chances to do this. You can do it as many times as you like. I just split my paper into 2. So I'm going to do one up here for 5 minutes and then one down below. And we're going to hope for the best. So get your colors and things that you think you would like to use ready. So you're not spending too much time, mixing and all that. Get your brushes, everything that you think you might need ready to go, and then we'll begin. Okay, so I have my timer ready, and we're going to hope for the best and just go. Ready? Go. Okay. So I think I'm going to paint kind of like a grayish sky. So I have a little bit of indigo here, a little bit of black, and I'm just going to do a really simple sky like this, really light, maybe a bit darker towards the top, like that. You know what? And then I'm going to do, maybe it's like on water. I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between, and then I'm going to bring some water down, and I'm just going to let wet on wet kind of take our trees where they need to go. So I have 2 kind of halves like that. Now I'm going to grab all my colors that I want for trees, and I'm just going to start letting the wet on wet do its thing. Okay. And I'm going to let it do it down here as well, so it's like a reflection. And just hope that it works out. Let's grab some green. Try not to use too much color. I don't want it to bleed too uncontrollably. And then whatever I'm doing on the top, I'm just going to mirror on the bottom. Okay, so I'm just looking. I have 3, almost 4 minutes left. Okay. I gotta make sure I have some down here. I want it to look like a reflection in the lake, of these beautiful trees. Now it's starting to dry a bit, which is totally fine. Then I can start putting in like branches and a little bit more detail with the time I have, hopefully. Now I'm going to grab some of my darker brown here, and I'm going to do little tree trunks. And it's going to kind of bleed on both sides, like that. So do some that are darker, lighter, or thicker, thinner. It's really hot in my office, so it's drying pretty fast. And then I'm going to do, oops, I keep grabbing like the wrong color. I'm going to do a little bit of land here, just making it a little bit darker. I don't know if I like this or not. I'm going to grab a little bit of blue, and I'm just going to kind of do like little water streaks in here. Do I like this? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to grab some darker green, and I'm going to try and do some little like evergreen trees maybe. It's not dry enough. That's okay. Maybe a little bit more like reddish trees in there too. I definitely don't have enough time, but you can definitely take this further and not do it in 5 minutes. But it just kind of gives you that rush to really kind of figure things out fast, paint without thinking. And this kind of stuff will just give you good ideas of what you can elaborate on when you do have more time or you want to take more time, I think kind of looks cool. I'm just going to, oops, a little bit more blue. Just get some watermarks in there. And a little bit more darker. Okay, 1:26. I have 1 minute, 26 seconds. So you can see where the paper is already dry in some areas because we're getting some more structured tree, what's it called? You know what I mean. Tree lines. It's not as not washed out, blend, like it doesn't blend like the other ones did. Because wet on wet causes it to blend, but when you do wet on dry, you get those more, you know. Oh my gosh. Apparently when I'm on a time limit, I get a little too flustered to talk. Blech. But I kind of like it. Call me crazy. I kind of like this. Okay, I wonder if I can get some branches in here. It's not dry enough. That's the only thing that's like makes this tougher, is that it just doesn't dry fast enough for what I'm trying to do in some senses. But still kind of like it though. I like the quickness of this. And I'm using a small piece of paper so I don't feel, you know, like I'm wasting, or how much time is left? Ah, okay. There we go. Timer. That is 5 minutes. And I actually really kind of like this, you guys. I like that. And I could do more with that too. You know what I mean? I could take more time and add more to it, but I like the way that went, if that makes sense. That was a little bit nerve-wracking, and by little I mean a lot, but fun. And then you can just kind of add a little bit slower wherever you're going with this. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I really like that. I like the more abstract-y kind of version of this. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Okay, so now we're going to do our second one. So this was a little bit more tricky because you have to wait for it to dry to get those more sharper areas. So I don't think I'm going to do wet on wet for this one. I think it's going to be a little bit more structured. Maybe I'll do like just like a couple trees. I don't know. And no sky background for this one. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to get ready for our second try at this. And let's begin. All right. Grabbing some orange and red, and I'm just going to do a really messy tree. Okay, I'm just kind of dabbing my brush, leaving a little bit of white space, so I can have some branches kind of coming through there. Going to grab more orange, going to tap it in some areas, grab a little bit of red, maybe mix it with whatever darker colors I have in my palette there. Darker on one side, a little bit of shadow, have some like smaller leaves like that. Let's grab some yellow. I'm going to do one kind of behind. And I'm just doing this like simple kind of dabbing motion with my brush, okay? I'm leaving that white space. I love painting trees. Painting trees really fast too is a little bit more intense. Gonna grab a little bit of green. But it's still fun nonetheless. I love it. Like that. Maybe this one will come down a bit more. All right. And then let's do a darker evergreen kind of tree. So green, a little bit of purple to make it a bit darker. And I'm just going to kind of, again, dabbing, not worrying too much about the shape. We're keeping it really loose. A little bit more purple. And just tapping. I'm going to bring this down a bit. And it'll also give me an idea of where the line of the ground is going to be. I think one of the hardest parts of this is just like talking you through my process because I'm trying to focus, but I also want to talk to you guys, let you know what's going on in my head. A little bit more darker green. Just darken it up. Okay, like that. I want to do, I want to do the ground. I'm going to grab a little bit of my olive green, and I'm just going to kind of do a ground right here. And then where I will use wet on wet is for the trunks of the trees. Now I'm going to grab my brown, and I'm going to just do a trunk, and I want it to bleed into the ground here, I think. My advice for when doing tree trunks, make them thinner than you would expect to. I feel like people make them a little bit thicker than you need, and then they look a little bit weird. Now, an hour. There's Noah. A minute and 46 seconds, not an hour. And we're just gonna... Now, if you want to kind of just blend that out a bit, add some green, or you can even add some red. Okay. Too much time, too much time. I'm gonna add some branches throughout. And those little white spaces. Those are too thick. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Can you tell I'm panicking now? I'm just gonna add some like fallen leaves. It's not as much as a landscape, but whatever. It's something. And then what if I add a little bit of blue in the background, or gray? Is that blue? I don't know what I'm doing there. Probably shouldn't have done that. Nope, did not work the way I was intending it to. I just wanted a little bit of sky in there, but it's too hard to kind of actually go over. It's not too bad. I wanted this a bit more loose, but I still feel like I tried to keep it a little bit too structured. I don't know. Don't like the little branches in here, but you know, let's just try and do some bushes or something. I had 22 seconds. 22 seconds. Maybe a little green bushes in here. A little bit of yellow. Just to kind of fill it up. And then some... Alright, that's it. And I'm done. Okay, so there are my two little kind of fall landscapes. Now, this exercise is not meant to create a masterpiece. It's to teach you something every time you work on something really fast. And the great things that can come out of working in a time limit is that little accidents can happen where you do something that you end up really liking. Like this little tree bush right here. I love this. This little, like how it's like super bright and yellow on the tips, and then it's a little bit darker here. That was an accident. That kind of just happened. When I was doing this one and I had the trunks kind of bleeding into the grass, loved that too. The other things I learned, I would probably use a smaller detail brush for these branches within, so they're not as, just like dominant in there, and I feel like they're a little too thick. I feel like delicacy would be a lot better. So this is the kind of stuff that you learn from doing things really fast. Is it fun always? No, not really. Is it uncomfortable at times? Yes, because we like to take our time, we like to be meticulous, but sometimes things will just happen where you learn a lot from it. So I do suggest kind of just playing around, giving yourself a time limit, not necessarily to rush you, but even just try to create something smaller. It doesn't have to be a landscape, or create one tree. Give yourself 5 minutes to create one tree, not a whole picture. So that's about that. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you tried this in the comments below. I would love to see your work. You can always share it with me on Instagram or Facebook, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on all my other platforms for tons more content. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.